Hey, everybody. The 49ers had a big 22-16 win on Sunday night against the Los Angeles Chargers at Levi Stadium. It is Tuesday, which means it is time for the 49ers film review. I'm Jack Hammer of the Santa Rosa Press Democrat. I'll be taking you through every offensive play from the big victory for the 49ers over the Chargers right after this. Hey, everybody, welcome to the 49ers film review. Going to take a look at the 49ers versus the Chargers, looking at the 49ers offense from this game. This was an interesting one in that the 49ers only scored 22 points. They moved the ball up and down the field. Kyle Shanahan was questioned after the game about the offense's inability to put points on the board, why they're only at 22. We're going to go through that. We're going to look at all of the plays. We'll focus specifically on those red zone plays, and which are really to blame for the 49ers not being able to put up the points. It's interesting when you look at it because Kyle Shanahan said yesterday, you get into the red zone, you score points, you score down in that area, you're going to put more points on the board. They had 5 trips. They scored on 2 of them. He was asked why they weren't able to put points on the board in that scenario. And you can't put your finger on one thing. And that's one of the points that I've made repeatedly about the 49ers this season. Their lack of points on offense, their miscues are a constant theme. Really comes down to execution, and it's usually not one person. It's not, you can't just say it's the quarterback. You can't just say it's Mike McGlinchey. You just can't say it's, George Kittle or any of the offensive linemen. It's not just Deebo Samuel. It's just not Christian McCaffrey. It's a full spectrum of guys who are making mistakes in those positions. So we're going to get to those. Let's get started. Going to do a little bit different view. I want to make sure you guys can really see the game itself. So here's the first play of the game. Open up with 12 personnel motion. We've seen this with the 49ers a lot. They're going to motion Kittle back across. Look at the flow that creates with the Chargers. They know what's coming ahead of time. There's been a lot of talk this week about the left tackle Trent Williams and his alignment dictating being a tell for run or pass. We'll get into that a little bit later tonight when I do the hammer and nail show, but it's usually motion wise is usually what tips off opponents to where this is going. I don't think the 49ers really care about it all that much because they have things that are going to come off of that. So you're going to see them come off of that play later on. So it's actually a really good gain by the fact that you see, look at the heart flow of the Chargers. They know where the ball's going. They know this thing's going to the left side. They're going to give hard flow with it. Really good job here by Christian McCaffrey to be able to still pick up 4 yards, even though you have the Chargers all sprinting that way. Look at the inside linebacker, just misses them, and he's able to get up inside and pick up 4 yards on first down. Nice play to start the game. And they're going to come right off of that with this next one. So 12 personnel again on 2nd and 6. They're going to show a lot of that same. They're going to show a similar look. They're going to show toss, but it's actually going to be an inside run. So you see a team overplaying one way, you throw the toss. And this is a play the 49ers ran a lot last year against the Colts, and they do it a lot overall. Split belly zone. It's really just their zone, but instead of having the quarterback run back there, they use the toss to get it into his hands quicker to help him to cut back faster. Nice gain right there, a 5. So then you get 3rd and 1. I'm just going to let a lot of these run through without stopping them tonight because there's so many. And this one's just a really nice quick hitter off the left side, just an inside zone run to the left side, just so quick from McCaffrey. Look at how quick he is up into the hole through for a nice gain of 7. Solid start for the 49ers, solid start by McCaffrey. And then in the 49ers, in those first 3 plays, they're running out of 12 personnel. Now they bring in Kyle Hughes for the first time. They go 21. They motion him into the backfield. This is going to be a run to the right side. You're going to see 65, the right guard is going to pull down here to the other side. I want you to pay attention to George Kittle. Watch the man that he is supposed to block. We're going to get a pull, like I said, out of 65. Kittle and McGlinchey working on the right side. McGlinchey helps Kittle get into his man, goes to the second level, and you're going to see Kittle get beat by 69 for the tackle for loss. A lot of talk about McGlinchey. Here's a good rep from him. Gets into him, gets up to the second levels. 85 just has his head down, misses. Kittle does this a couple times in the game. So you get a loss of 1 on the play. Second 11, 21 personnel again. This time you have huge check down here at the bottom of the screen. And this is going to be just an inside short route for Brandon Ayuk on the right side. The motion across, watch the way that the motion opens up the left side of the formation for that in route by Brandon Ayuk here. Let me get to it. So you see there's the first motion by McCaffrey. Now you're going to see Deebo Samuel motion across as well. And as soon as you see him go across, see how that inside flat defender for the Chargers slides down inside. Now he's inside the defensive end. That opens up that in breaking route for Deebo Samuel. Garoppolo gets the ball out to him quickly, and you're able to get a nice little 7-yard little gain for about 5. Not a big gain, but it's a positive one. You move this is where the 49ers a lot of times in their passing game, their passing game sometimes is like their run game. Short stuff, let the receivers do the work. That's a lot of what Kyle Shanahan wants to do, and he's talked about it quite a bit. 3rd and 6, going to go to 11 personnel. 49ers are a heavy 11 personnel team when they get to 3rd down or in the red zone even at times. And this is going to go to Juwan Jennings. This is an interesting play to me. You look at this one, and this one he has 2 options here. Does Garoppolo? He takes the first one, which is the route to Jennings on the crosser. He also could have had the first down to Christian McCaffrey down here if he wanted to. So they'll stop and go. He's open, gets it to him, and he had McCaffrey down on the flat, running his little double move on the guy on the right side there. But a good read by Garoppolo, gets it out quick, gets it to 15, who's open, puts it right on the money, and Jennings does a really nice job turning upfield and splitting the defenders and getting the first down. It's a big play there. 1st and 10 at the 42 now. 21 personnel for the 49ers. You see Kyle Juszczyk down here at the bottom of the screen, and Jimmy Garoppolo has it wide open to look at the attention that Christian McCaffrey garners. You're going to see him go to the flat. He's going to be running a little choice route, and look, when he starts to go inside, the linebacker jump that route wide open behind him to Brandon Ayuk. He's not even paying attention to Ayuk. Look at how wide open Ayuk is. It's an easy throw for Garoppolo. Puts it right on him. Big gain of 20, excuse me. But again, this is McCaffrey. This is what he does. I guarantee you, if that is Elijah Mitchell, you're not going to see Troy Reader, the linebacker, jump that route to the running back the way that he does there. Chargers are very keyed in to Christian McCaffrey in this game, and it opened up a lot of things for other people. Now you got 1st and 10 at the 22. Back to 21 personnel once again. Get into the backfield. They're going to run their toss split belly again. Look at that cutback lane, and really nice job by Elijah Mitchell to see the hole, to feel that. Not, one of the things that was a complaint for a number of people when it came to Elijah Mitchell last year was his tendency to run up the back of his offensive lineman. This one, he does a good job. He sees it, he feels it, and he runs right off of everybody's back. He keeps tight to the offensive lineman. He's not really cutting too far back. It's really tight and up the field. Really nice run for a gain of 7 for Elijah Mitchell. Come right back on the next play, still in that 21 personnel. Going to run the zone to the left side here, and Aaron Banks just gets beat. And it's a really good job by Mitchell to pick up a couple of yards. It's kind of a tough. This is a tough block. You see where Aaron Banks is at left guard. He's going to have to come out here and get 69, and he's going to struggle with that. Isn't able to get his head across, and he's not able to really move him once he gets there, and he shoves him right into the back. Banks just isn't able to cut him off. Good job by Mitchell, though, to pick up a couple. So that brings up 3rd and 1. And this is where, I had some people ask me about the 49ers, do they run no huddle? Do they go quick? And this is an example. We saw the 49ers run a lot of go quick a lot of times. They did that here. They just went right back to the line of scrimmage. It was a really quick, I don't think they got all the way into the huddle. Quick call, right at the line of scrimmage, and then they just run right up the field at them. Basically a power wall play, we used to call it back in the day. But again, this is out of quick. They didn't even huddle up, just right back to the line of scrimmage, run it at them on 3rd down, pick up the 1st down. You have a fresh set of downs. Now we get to 1st and goal, at the 9. So this is the first red zone trip from the 49ers. And they're going to start off here with, they're in 21 personnel. They're going to start off with what I would call a heavy play action pass. They're trying to make this look like they're going to run power down here to the right side. You're going to have the first guy there. You see how you have Kyle Juszczyk and George Kittle. Juszczyk's right behind him. They're both coming down like they're going to block on a run. 85 basically kicks out like he normally would, helps in pass protection. And then you have 44 and 25 both slide up through the line. It's interesting because both those guys go to the same spot. So they're not even really options here. I don't think you even see Garoppolo look at them. Garoppolo is looking to the right flat first to Ayuk. Isn't open, comes back to the middle. It's not open to Samuel. And this is a good improvement in Jimmy Garoppolo's game. Garoppolo came into this game and he'd only thrown one ball away heading into this game. It's one of the things that people, myself included, have said, hey, it'd be nice every once in a while if you don't force balls in there, you have a good enough team around you, just don't make the big mistake. And so that's what you see here. Garoppolo drops back, doesn't have it there, looks over the middle. I think he might even have been looking right there to see where Kyle Juszczyk was, but everybody's tied up in the middle. So then he goes back to Deebo Samuel. You see Samuel, the safety, number 24, has eyes on Samuel, so he's going to pick him up coming across on that over route. He's right there. Garoppolo sees it. He's not going to have him open, and he throws a really nice pass to the guy in the black jacket in the stands. Really like this play, though. I understand it's not a completion. It's not a whatever. I like the fact that we see Garoppolo, a little bit of growth from Garoppolo, I think, here, throwing this ball away right to that guy in that black hat and the black jacket. Nice throw by Garoppolo. And then now second and 9. And the 49ers, this is where they get into 11 personnel. They do 11 a lot down in the red zone, which might sound a little counterintuitive since they like to also do it a lot in 3rd down and 3rd and longs and those types of things. But I think the reason they like to use their 11 personnel down here so much is they're trying to spread the defensive out, not let it be so compact. So they're going to start this one. You see Deebo Samuel. Right now he has Christian McCaffrey in the backfield. Does Jimmy Garoppolo to his right. He's going to motion Deebo Samuel back next to him. And then from here, you're going to get a motion by McCaffrey. And now watch when McCaffrey motions, you're going to see the right defensive end slide out. You're going to see the linebacker slide over all the way to the hash before this ball snapped. So as they're sliding away with their eyes on 23, they're going to run an inside run to Deebo Samuel. This should have been a touchdown. If Deebo Samuel is a running back, this is a touchdown. He just doesn't see it. We're going to see a better view of it from this end zone. Watch this one as it plays through. Watch 71. That's where he should be. He should be right on the left, the left hip of 71 on here. He should continue to follow him. If he keeps following 71 instead of cutting this thing inside to his left, it's a touchdown because look at how it opens up. You see the block by George Kittle. So again, if he's on that left hip of Trent Williams, he's right there. Now see how that hole opens up. He's not patient because he's not a running back. He's a receiver who plays running back, a really good athlete. So instead of staying patient and hitting the hole, he jumps down inside and you get a gain of 7. Nice gain, but it should have been 9. It should have been a touchdown. Let's watch that one more time, just to full speed from the end zone. Again, just got to get on that hip of 71. That's your track. let him take you to the end zone. Instead, you jump inside and you miss it, and you're tackled at the 2. So the first play call down here, pass play, trying to take a shot, you don't get it. That's not a bad play call, not bad execution either. Second down, good play call, poor execution in that the running back, it's good execution, they get 7 yards. It's bad execution that the running back wide receiver should have got into the end zone on it if he stays on the proper track. Kyle Shanahan mentioned that as well, that he felt like one of the runs down there should have been a touchdown, and that would have been it. Because it's definitely not this one. This is going to be 3rd and 2, still in 11 personnel here for the 49ers, and they're going to try an inside run, and this one's real simple. Those 4 guys for the down linemen for the Chargers win at the point of the attack. The 49ers get no push. McCaffrey has no seam to hit, just runs right in the back of 65, and he's dropped for no gain, and the 49ers have to settle for a field goal. Watch it again here. You're going to see Banks and Brendel and Burford and so on. They get no push. Everybody just moves right down the line of scrimmage. Everybody's still at the 2, and they drop them for no gain. And that's the end of the first possession. All right. Got a super chat from Corey. He says, after 10 weeks, what is your confidence level in this team going far? They just don't look good enough to beat any quality teams. The thing about this is I think their defense gives them a chance against everybody that they're going to have to play when it comes to January. There's not a team on the NFC side that are going to play in the playoffs that I'm overly concerned about, other than possibly the Vikings, maybe Philadelphia, but we saw the 49ers last year be able to beat the Vikings at home. I think the Vikings have a pretty good team, but they just don't have I think the 49ers can get over on them. I'm a little bit more concerned with the Eagles just because of the 49ers struggles with quarterbacks that move. But beyond that, I think the 49ers are in a really good spot here. I think their defense is solid. Again, you look at this game, the 49ers move the ball up and down the field. They're struggling with little things in the red zone. With Christian McCaffrey, Deebo Samuel together, I think it's going to take a little bit of time for Kyle Shanahan to kind of see how teams are responding, and then he'll be able to make his adjustments and move forward. And I think once he sees that, this offense is going to pick up. So give it a couple of weeks, and I think we'll really see the trade for McCaffrey blossom. We saw it already against the Rams, but I'm talking about in the way that this offense works together with Deebo Samuel. They were. You look at the game against the Rams, they were very strong in the red zone. That's why they put up 31 points. This game, they struggled in the red zone, kicked 3 field goals and scored 2 touchdowns. That's why it was 22 points. I thought they were going to get to 27. We're going to get there in a minute as to why they were a little short. So there's that. Why isn't Deebo producing on traditional wide receiver routes? He's not getting open. Well, I shouldn't say he's not getting open. There were a couple times in this game, at least one that I think of where Garoppolo should have hit him. Other than that, he's not really getting open all that much. You got to remember back last year when he was getting all his big chunks of yardage, they were coming on screens. We just don't see a whole lot of that. And instead of having him run those crossing, those middle crossers, you're seeing those go to Brandon Ayuk now. I think that's the biggest difference, is that those passes across the middle that used to always go to Deebo Samuel are starting to go to Brandon Ayuk. Kyle Shanahan, I don't think, has gotten away from using Deebo Samuel in that wide back role like what he did in the second half of the year last year. I think you need to get him go back to a little bit more of what you did in the first half now that you have Christian McCaffrey. Let Deebo Samuel play wide receiver. Let Christian McCaffrey and Elijah Mitchell be your running backs, and I think you do those things, and that'll help them out. So those are my feelings on those two. So let's get back into it. We're opening up the second drive of the game. 1st and 10 at the 17. 49ers defense had a nice stop. 49ers come out here in 21 personnel, and you've got Christian McCaffrey again in the backfield with Deebo Samuel there motioning across. Again, look at how wide open Brandon Ayuk is as a result of Christian McCaffrey taking the middle linebacker out of the play. You're going to get play action. This is a really nice play by Garoppolo too. So there's your play action. Look at Troy Reader leaves. Garoppolo's first read is to Deebo Samuel. He looks there first. I think he probably could have had him if he wants, but there's just so much more stuff underneath, and he has a more wide open lane here to Ayuk. Hits him, and then this is a bad break at the end of it. Ayuk knows that he needs to hold onto this ball. This is a tough one. He's got the catch. He's being spun down to the ground, and he's spinning. Derwin James gets in there and gets his helmet on it, knocks it out. This is a real tough break for the 49ers, and at least the 3 points for the Chargers. Really nice catch, spins him, and as he's flinging around, he goes right into Derwin James. Bad luck. Ayuk knows that he needs to do that one better. But this is a terrific play call. Again, just watch Troy Reader vacate. He's out of there, and now you have wide open. Again, Deebo Samuel's open. He could have hit him if he wanted to. Like this ball going to Ayuk, though, the second receiver crossed. Just a tough break at the end of it. 49ers defense does a really nice job in that sudden change situation, comes on, holds them to a field goal, so now it's only 10-3. First possession of the second half. It's going to be a couple of tough possessions for the 49ers here. First and 10, 21 personnel. You're going to get your toss zone to the left side. I think McCaffrey misses the read here. A lot of penetration. You see him wanting the cutback, and then he doesn't feel it, and so he just follows up inside to try to. You can see that little run lane right there. You can see him when you watch this full speed. You can see him want to cut this back up inside. I think that's where they're trying to hit it. I don't think he saw it quite where it was opened up. And so at this point, he decides that he's just going to go ahead and try to get it up in there and minimize the damage. He's dropped for a loss of 1. When you watch this from the end zone view, it's a little bit different. I think that he could have cut this thing up inside right there. If he gets that thing up inside of 65, I think that's where he should have gone. I think it's one of those where it's a tough one. You can see that it looks right now like he's going to be able to get over here, but he's slow to the outside because he's looking for the cutback. And so if you're looking for the cutback, just go ahead and take it right now. Take that thing up inside of 65. Instead, he decides a little slow on that one. Let's watch it one more time in full speed without me interrupting it. You'll see how he slows down because he wants to cut, and that little slowdown keeps him from hitting it on the outside. So a little indecision. Boom, right there. You see that little false step. The little false step keeps him from getting to to what that looked like on the outside, and that little false step was because he wanted to cut it back up. So not a bad play overall. He minimizes the damage. It's not a positive, but does a good job of minimizing the damage. 2nd and 11. 49ers. You can see on this one where Garoppolo wants something over here on the right side. He's looking to the right, and he works his way back. McCaffrey's going to be running up the seam. I think that's where he's trying to go originally, but it's pretty well covered. The defender does a good job of staying underneath him, and there's just so much around it. This is a good job of not forcing that ball into McCaffrey, because I think that's where he's trying to go. First off, I think right there he wants McCaffrey. The linebacker does a good job of sliding underneath it. And then you see him look to Deebo Samuel, recoil, and then throw it to 11. Okay, Jack, let's do this again without you stopping it. Watch, you're going to see he's going to go right to McCaffrey. Boom. Samuel, boom. And it's the third guy that he looks at is Ayuk, gets him the ball, short gain, pick up about 5. Picks up 6, excuse me. You can see he's looking for McCaffrey, not there, looks to Samuel, and then he looks back to Ayuk. Really nice, because this is good. That's a good one, because you can see he's looking here, throws it. And at 3rd and 5, they're going to try to work a curl route with a wheel behind it to Kittle. I don't really know why he doesn't throw the ball to Jennings. I can see the DB's driving on him, and so he's trying. I think he sees the cornerback drive on the curl. Watch this. See, you can see him separate like he wants to throw that ball to Jennings. I just don't think he felt it. And then the pressure's there, so he's not able to pull it back and hit Kittle, who's starting to become open, running down the sidelines because he's got the pressure. You're going to see the blitz. This is a different one, actually. That's McCaffrey that he throws it to. I was thinking about them because there's another one that has blitz pickup from Christian McCaffrey that we're going to get to. Again, one last time looking at it. I don't know. This one I'd go to Jennings. Throw it right there. Just rip it into him. He's standing at the sticks. Throw it down around his thighs. Let him get down, and the defender is going to have to go for the top of him. Instead, he recoils. Pressure forces him out to the right, and McCaffrey was there when he starts to throw it, but then McCaffrey slips when the ball comes out. Quick 3 and out for the Flyers offense. Get it back. Their own 24. When I watched this live, I thought they were trying to run a screen. I realized as I watched this on the film that it's not a screen. It's just because of the way that Los Angeles defends this. It looks like they're bringing a blitz, but they're actually going to fall out. See, it looks like right there. It looks like they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it looks like they're bringing 6. So I think Garoppolo sees the 6 and decides that he wants to go to McCaffrey here. But there's the guy's right there. There's nothing open down the field. He's still looking to his left, and he's just going to throw this away. This is the second of those throwaways that he has in this game. The only problem here is he gets kind of locked in on the left side. It would have been nice to see him look to his right because I think he might have had Brian Ayuk down the middle. There's nobody there to cover him. I think Derwin James has his eyes locked in the backfield. He doesn't see Ayuk, and I think if Garoppolo just slides and goes to, he's got him, would have been a big play. Just misses it. It's a tough one. The coverage, I think, locked him up there because I think he saw he read pre-snap blitz, post-snap he didn't see the bailout, so he tries to go to McCaffrey, recognizes that it's not open, and then just throws into the dirt. Positive on that play is that it just you're not turning the ball over. It's not a stupid throw, but I do think that he could have hit Ayuk deep on the right side on that one. So a little bit of a miss there. Really nice run by Elijah Mitchell on the RPO. And look at all the movement from the Chargers pre-snap when Deebo Samuel goes in motion. Whenever Deebo Samuel, we saw this last year, when Deebo Samuel moves around, he moves everybody around the formation. And so you got to get a feel for where they're going to move when he does that. On 3rd and 3, this is the one where I was talking about on the previous one. You're going to see a blitz pickup by Christian McCaffrey. Does a really nice job picking up the blitz, but he gets pushed back. McGlinchey's giving up some ground. And this is one of those plays where Garoppolo does what you want. But this is where the difference between having Jimmy Garoppolo as your quarterback and Trey Lance. This is where Trey Lance picks up the first down because of his wheel. So you look at Lance and you look at Garoppolo, and I'm a little torn when I look at these two because of the way that they play. Garoppolo sometimes helps his offense out because of his quick release. But in times like this is where you want to have those quick legs of a guy like Trey Lance to be able to pick up that first down for you, because Garoppolo just doesn't have the ability to escape this and pick up those 3 yards. Again, let's look at it real quick from this all 22 view. It's pretty well covered. They've got the flat route covered. The second routes over here on the left side haven't developed yet. Too much pressure around him, so he starts to escape out. And if he has any kind of wheels, the only thing I would say maybe is just keep taking this thing to the sideline a little bit longer before you cut back. See if you can maybe get there a little bit more. I get why he wants to cut this back. He wants to get upfield as soon as possible. But I think if he just continues to carry this thing to the sideline, he might have a little bit of a better chance of getting there. What's up, Raphael 5629ers? I see you in there. Wants to make sure everybody likes and subscribes. If you guys could do that, that'd be fantastic. And then here we come. This is going to be a really nice drive for the 49ers. This is 1st and 10 from their own 25, and they're going to start off with their little split valley toss. Nice gain of a couple there for Elijah Mitchell. I think he should have wound this thing back just a little bit farther. Maybe not, because the guy had started to slide across the face of his left guard. 2nd and 8, you get a delay of game, which drops you back. So now it's going to become 3rd and 2nd and 13. Good thing that it got blown dead, because I think Garoppolo might have got his head taken off if they let that play run. So second and 12 now. 2nd and 13 is what I had it as. This is where they're going to try. He's going to try to hit Deebo Samuel on an over route from right to left. Just leads him a little too far. I think this is a bad throw by Garoppolo. This is one of his bad throws of the night. I think he's got Deebo coming across there. It's tight, so he wants to get out in front of him. Just leads him a little too far. Just gets it out there too far. Got to stick that on him a little bit better. Just an inaccurate throw by Garoppolo is how I put it down watching that game. That was one of his few really bad throws. But you got third down now, 3rd and long, and 11 personnel. That's what the Flyers like to do. You motion Samuel across. You see the way it affects the Chargers. You get man coverage, looks everywhere, comes off of it, and finds George Kittle over the middle for a gain of 21. Really nice. You're going to see this from the end zone view. You're going to watch Garoppolo. He's going to read out the left side before he comes back to the middle. 1, 2, 3, hits him. Little bit behind. 43 is not able to make the play. If he had put the ball in a similar position to Deebo Samuel on the play before, I think you pick it up. That's, again, guy moving across. So it's a little bit, those are not easy routes to throw necessarily, because you got to throw that thing out in foam and get to it. That was not a perfect throw by Garoppolo, but it was a good job of getting back to it. Really nice connection there with George Kittle. Big gain. And then this next one, this is one of the better throws of his time with the Flyers. I think I watched this play, and it reminds me a lot of the throw to Deebo Samuel against the Rams down in Los Angeles in week 18 of last season. The way that he's able to escape the pocket, slide to his right. The linebacker, that's Troy Reeder, and who's chasing. I think that's Troy Reeder who ends up chasing Ray McLeod. But this is just from my position in the stadium watching this, I'm behind and to the left, and so you can really see. You can see that he's open. Just not sure if Garoppolo is going to get the ball there. Doesn't throw the ball all that great a lot of times when he's on the move. But again, he's looking to his right, comes back to his left. It's not there. He's starting to get some pressure now. McGlinchey's been holding up, and now he's starting to get pressure. Also, you see, it looks like I'm not sure who the other one is. I think that might be Brendel. But a really nice ball in there to Ray McLeod for a big gain down the right sideline for 33. 2 big throws right back to back. That's really nice. You get the throw to Kittle over the middle. You come right back to McLeod. Let's watch the protection here. They're going to have to hold up for a long time. That's Brunskill that's getting driven back. You get Brunskill and McGlinchey on the same side, and there's a lot of pushback from both those guys. Both of them struggle to really anchor in pass protection. You see both of them having to move there. Good job by Garoppolo. Really nice throw. And now puts you in 1st and 10 at the 22. And they come out in 11 personnel. Make it nice and easy for him with a little screen over to McCaffrey, and McCaffrey does a nice job for a gain of 6. Chargers are really keyed in on 23. They were going to make sure that he didn't beat them, and so in doing so, they opened up some other things that we've already seen in this game. Just slips down, and nice play by Van Noy over there. 2nd and 4. Again, 11 personnel. You get Samuel and this is where we go back to earlier in the game. Remember the first red zone trip for the 49ers? They got into this situation where they motioned Deebo Samuel into the backfield with Christian McCaffrey. Remember? And then McCaffrey motions to the left side, and then they run the inside run to Deebo Samuel. Remember that play? Remember the 7-yard gain that I said should have been a touchdown? Well, guess what? Kyle Shanahan goes right back, makes it look exactly like that, but this time, instead of the give, they throw the bubble screen to Christian McCaffrey for a nice gain down the left side. And that's where, again, you got to look at all the plays, how they all work together. This is the same exact look. Motion, play action, throw everything about that, the way the linemen are moving, where the running back's going, all of it, it's all built in together. So it's really nice. I'll get to your super chat, James, right after this series is over with. And then, so now we're 1st and goal at the 5. Nice little inside zone run to McCaffrey for 3. Right here at towards the end of the half. So you feel pretty good that they're going to want to try to score a touchdown. I felt like they were going to go for this no matter what happened. They were going to try to hit this thing and score a touchdown. Nice inside run, though, by McCaffrey there. Sets up 2nd and 2. They're going to try to go up inside again. This time out of 23 personnel. Look at all the congestion. The 49ers just don't get quite the push that you need, and McCaffrey gets stopped short. 2 running backs, 3 tight ends, 23 personnel. It's all in a bunch. McCaffrey's just not able to quite get it up in there and get it into the end zone. But they left with the ball that right there on the 1. They go quick. They get right back to the line of scrimmage, and 10 gets it in there for a touchdown. So there's the difference. The first red zone possession that we saw, a couple mistakes in execution. This time they get down there. You get a nice throw on 2nd and 4 to McCaffrey for 12, and then you have a couple of runs from the 5. You're able to run the ball 3 times in a row and get it into the end zone. And that's it. Now we're going to open up the second half, and they're going to open up the second half. This is going to look a lot like what we saw last week against the Los Angeles Rams. What I want you to pay attention to is you see the flat defender. He's lined up right now. I think that's Jawan Jennings at the top of the screen. You see Deebo's on the outside. There's a receiver on the inside. Actually, that's going to be Brandon Ayuk right there. So watch this guy. Watch what they're going to do to him. They're going to put him in conflict. They're going to have George Kittle and Christian McCaffrey are both on the opposite side of the field. When this ball snapped, they're going to basically force that guy to declare who he's going to cover. He's either going to sit and he's going to cover George Kittle, or he's going to get out and he's going to cover Christian McCaffrey. You see him. You already see him moving around. He decides to sit on the route to Kittle. So that little sit right there is what creates the space for this 21-yard completion from Garoppolo to Christian McCaffrey. Watch it again full speed. Well, I won't screw this one up for you. Just go ahead and pay attention to watch. You're going to see that guy out here where they're going to motion Samuel across, see him slide up inside just inside the hash. Now they're going to run right at him with Kittle. So he sees that, he sits. Forcing him to sit is what allows McCaffrey to get around the outside. Now, from the quarterback perspective, as this play is going out, that's the read for Garoppolo. If that guy stays inside with Kittle, you throw the flat. If he jumps the flat, you throw to Kittle. It's a real easy read for the quarterback. We saw the 49ers do this with a lot of success against the Rams. I don't know why we didn't see more of it in this game, because I think there's some opportunities for them to do that and really work that combination of Kittle and McCaffrey. It really works well with the skill set of Jimmy Garoppolo. It's something that we just didn't see enough of, and I think some of it has to do with them trying to integrate Deebo Samuel into the game plan. So again, just let Deebo Samuel play wide receiver. I think in a lot of ways, if you just let him play wide receiver more often, let McCaffrey and and Mitchell be your running backs, I think you're better off. And then you just throw Samuel out there for a couple of plays in the backfield. I just think they're overutilizing him in that role right now. But they're going to make me eat my words right here with a nice little inside run, 21 person or 11 personnel. Kind of getting into that same, it's a different formation, but it's again kind of that same look they ran earlier in the red zone, the same one they ran on the throw to McCaffrey in the red zone in the end of the first half. Except for it's a little bit more of an outside run for Debo this time, and he does a nice job, picks up 14. They're rolling, 1st and 10, 12 personnel. This is a really good personnel grouping for them. McCaffrey with a run to the left side, picks up 5. I think on this one he might have been a little bit better served to cut this up inside. Let's watch. Let's see. Could he have cut this up? Yeah. If he'd cut that thing up and run that right off the right in there to 71, I think he could have got there. Instead, he takes it to the wide side. Still a nice gain of 5, but I think if he got that thing north and south a little quicker, I think he could have left some meat on the bone, to use his terminology on that one. Back in 12 personnel, again, you have 2 tight ends down here to the bottom with Debo Samuel outside of them. You got McCaffrey in the backfield. Up wide to the left is Brandon Ayuk. Going to be a little run here to McCaffrey. Again, you get a real nice run there. This is a situation we had this with Elijah Mitchell earlier. Watch Burford not able to the whole 96 gets kind of beat across his face. 23 does a nice job of seeing that, cutting back across inside, keeping his feet and picking up 4. 3rd and 1. They're going to go back-to-back sneaks. The first sneak gets shut down. You see Garoppolo's left foot slip. And then the second time around, much better. They're able to get a better push, and he's able to slide through. I hate that hit right there, though, by the linebacker on your quarterback's shoulders. But he's all right, picks up the first down. We watch the free shot that 49 gets on him right here. Just misses him, and he gets across his head a little bit, picks up the first down. Garoppolo has a few words for Derwin James. And the 49ers are back in business, 1st and 10 at their 29-yard line of the Chargers. And you got 21 personnel. Run their little zone read. Wide open. Nice gain by McCaffrey. Bringers ran this a lot. They start getting into this more with Mitchell. This is really fits their style. This was really, we saw them do a lot of this in week 1 with Trey Lance at quarterback, where they were just that inside zone scheme to step to the side, read the end, give or pull, and you're not going to really run that outside with Garoppolo, and they come right back, do it again. You're going to flip it around, do the same thing, right up the middle, pick up 10. So they pick up 12 on first down with McCaffrey, run the same play the next play for 10 with Elijah Mitchell. Same exact look. McCaffrey got 12, though, to only 10 for Mitchell. 1st and goal from the 7. Now we got to pause it here because we talked a lot at the beginning, or I did at least, about the 49ers red zone issues and their inability to score. So here we go. Red zone. This is their 3rd quarter trip. Remember, they missed on the first one. They scored in the second one. So now here's the 3rd one. They're not going to get into the end zone on this possession. They got 1st and 10 at the 7-yard line. They're going to go right back. It's going to be the same play that they just ran twice in a row. That zone read inside and get stuffed for no gain. Jake Brendel loses at the point of attack, and 96 is going to make the stop. Watch Jake Brendel get beat, and that's why they don't get they'll get any yardage. 64 loses and stop for no gain. Now This is another one of those plays that Kyle Shanahan talked about that he wishes they had back. Remember, we talked about this. We've seen them do this a couple of times. They have a running back with Garoppolo. They motion Samuel in the backfield. What do you think is going to happen? They're probably going to motion 25 out, right? There you go. You see that motion come out. Now you're going to get that run fake with the bubble. They've been doing this all game long. Garoppolo makes the wrong choice and pulls it and throws it out here to 25. He should have gave it to 19. There should have been an inside run to Deebo Samuel. The quarterback makes a mistake. How do I know that? Kyle Shanahan said it yesterday. They didn't want to see the bubble screen. They wanted to see the run to Deebo. Watch Deebo. Let's see what it looks like for him. Forget where the ball goes. If they give the ball right there, look at all the blocking. Look at the way that's set up. It's a touchdown. It's going to be Deebo Samuel one-on-one with that defensive back who right now is at the 1 yard line coming across. It would have been Samuel against him for a touchdown. I'll take my chances every day of the week with Deebo Samuel on that one. So it's a bad read by Garoppolo. Got to be better. You got to execute better than that. You got to be better in these situations. That falls on the head coach, right? It still falls on the head coach. It's a good play call, but you guys got to execute it right. And as the head coach, quarterback coach, wide receiver coach, all those guys, that you got to do a better job of getting them ready. Now it's 3rd and 8. You're not done yet. You still have a chance. And the 49ers are going to go back to one of their signature red zone plays, which you're going to get Samuel, who is lined up in the middle. You see, this is the number 3 receiver is Juwan Jennings. Then to his outside is Deebo Samuel. You got Brian Ayuk out wide. You're going to get Samuel and Ayuk are going to get to the end zone. They're running ends, and you're going to have Jennings run a corner behind him. They love running this concept. We saw them do this against they ran something similar to this against the Kansas City Chiefs. It was the pick that Garoppolo threw down here. Remember? The difference was on that one, they're running return routes where they're running inside and they go back out. This time, they're just going to be running in routes. I think Kyle Shanahan must have listened to Kurt Warner, who suggested that that's what they should have been doing. So you don't get a blitz, so that makes it a little bit easier to read here too. Garoppolo is going to look, comes back to Ayuk, hits him on the backside. This should be a touchdown, and Ayuk drops it. He's been their most consistent receiver. The one guy that usually doesn't drop passes. This is a drop. Say what you want about the throw. Kyle Shanahan says this is a drop. So if the head coach says it's a drop, it's a drop. It's right there. Should be 6. 49ers should be ahead right now, 17-16. Instead, they have to kick a field goal, and they're still behind. I'm going to pause it here just for a second. There was a couple super chats that I want to hit up. We got Big James Foster coming in. Thank you, James. He says, thank you for the super chat. He says, what's up with Brunskill and Burford rotating in game? I've never seen this. Is there situations where one is better or playing better than the other? That's a really good question. That's something that we need to ask to the offensive line coach, Chris Verster, this week. So I'm not sure exactly why they're rotating so much. I thought that a lot of it had to do with them just getting Brunskill ready to go and getting him reps and helping him out, kind of because he missed all of the preseason. But it's continued on past the bye week. And so I really don't know what that is. And I don't think that I think Burford has room to grow. He's not quite there yet, but he's playing pretty well. You watch Brunskill play, and I think Burford's better. It's in terms of pass protection. I don't know about the run blocking. I think Brunskill might be a little bit better than Burford when it comes to run blocking, but there's a pretty fine line there. I'm not quite sure why you're seeing so much of Daniel Brunskill. Tony Nagatani, thank you. He says, am I wrong to say the 49ers offense since CMC was acquired more resembles the offense the Niners ran in week 1 and 2 before Trey got hurt? In this game, you're not wrong. In this game, in the game against the Rams and against the Chiefs, the answer to that would have been no. They ran their normal, what looked like their normal stuff, what we typically see of the 49ers. In this game, you're right. In this game, the 49ers running scheme in this was very much more along the lines of what they were running in weeks 1 and 2 from a run game perspective. A lot more zone read, more. You see right here, it's this next play is going to roll. You're in the pistol formation. You've seen a lot more of that in this week than you had really since week 1 and 2. So that's a good call, Tony. Hadn't really thought of it that way. I know that I said a couple of times that the runs inside looked similar, but yes, it's definitely more resembling from a run game perspective what they did with Trey Lance in week 1 and week 2. And they can get all that stuff with Jimmy Garoppolo. Kyle Shanahan has said that. That's partly why all the changes that we heard were supposed to be coming. I always kind of didn't think we're going to see a whole lot of change. The only change when you have Trey Lance in the game is now you have a quarterback that can run. And so in situations like this, you know that Garoppolo is going to hand off. When you have Trey Lance, it's more of a free-for-all in terms of what they're going to do there. So there we go. And I'm going to run this thing, and we got to get going because we've got a little ways to go to get through this. I want to make sure we get to all of it. I have another show coming up in about 25 minutes. I got to get off, but we'll let this run through. A really nice run to open up this drive by Elijah Mitchell. And I think maybe it's a little bit of Elijah Mitchell too, Tony, going back to your question earlier, because this is the stuff that Mitchell looked really good at. And Christian McCaffrey can run all this stuff too. He's a little bit more of an outside zone guy, but these inside runs really suit Elijah Mitchell. Elijah Mitchell is an explosive between the tackles runner. You don't really expect to see him take it to the house, but he's going to be a chunk player for you, being able to get those 5, 6, 7, 8 yard runs. His longest run in this game was 12 yards. We come right back to it again. Another nice, powerful run off the side. I think what happened here is that Kyle Shanahan kind of sensed the need to get a little more physical in the ground game, and that he wanted to run between the tackles more. So he just goes with that guy that is the more of a down in, down out between the tackles. We're going to pound you guy, and that's Elijah Mitchell. That's who he was last year. He's going to be that again this year. So back to back, really nice runs, and then you get the sack here from 52. And again, this goes back to the whole discussion on Mike McGlinchey. People telling me on Twitter that what about the sack that McGlinchey gave up? This isn't a sack on Mike McGlinchey. This is a naked bootleg. They're not blocking the defensive end. Everything's meant to look like a run to the left, and they're going to try to come around off the backside. 49ers have struggled with this a little bit at times this year because the teams have been really good. Opponents have been really good with sending guys off the backside. It's something that you're seeing around the NFL, but it really affects the 49ers, especially it affected them with Trey Lance, even though he's quicker than Garoppolo, but it really affects you with a guy like Garoppolo. He turns around, it's right in his face. He's just not able to get it out of his hands. You get the sack. Not on Mike McGlinchey. I'm sorry, folks, but it just wasn't. So now you got 2nd and 20. Just ruins that whole possession. This is an interesting one. I'm in the press box, and I get this. I've had the fortune of having 2 really good former 49ers sitting just a couple seats down from me. One of them was a running back, and then later a running back coach, Tom Rathman, and then sitting next to him was Dante Whitner. And listening to the 2 of them talk about this play was interesting because Dante Whitner was believing that this ball should have come out to that Garoppolo should have been able to step up and get this ball to George Kittle. And Tom Rathman was of the belief that there was nowhere for him to move up because of the pressure from Khalil Mack that is allowed by Mike McGlinchey. And I agree with both of them to an extent. Now let's watch it from where are we? I went too far back. We'll just let this one roll right into the next one. But I agree with them. I think the watching it from the end zone, you can see when we get to that one, you'll be able to see where Kittle is starting to come open, and he's starting to come open right around the time that defensive end is getting into Jimmy Garoppolo. You got to remember, this is kind of our view. We're kind of more over here to the side, so we're not looking at quite as close as we are here. but there's really not a whole lot of room. If Jimmy Garoppolo steps up here, there's not much room. Right about now is when that ball should be coming out to George Kittle. You see that McGlinchey's gotten driven back. There was some room in the pocket. He might have been able to step up, but there's just not very much room to work right there. And he steps out, and then this one is his second throwaway of the game. I think he's just throwing that ball into the dirt, not really trying to get to Elijah Mitchell. Watch it from it's even better. It's a better view actually on Twitter. I think Steph Sanchez had it up there. You can see it better. You can't see from here, but the pressure given up by 69 because of the pushback. If he'd stepped up a little bit, he might have been able to get the ball to Kittle. That's just a really tough play all around. That's one where, again, you go back and we talked about it earlier on, where if that's Trey Lance in there, you think that he's going to probably step up and try to take off up the middle, or at least step up and through, because that's where he likes to move. 3rd and 20, there's Deebo Samuel's first catch of the game. 3rd and 20, they throw him a screen pass. Nice run after the catch for 16 yards, but still got a punt. That's the bad part in this game for Samuel. They moved him around a lot. Threw the ball 6 times. He only had 2 catches. Both of his catches come in situations like this: 3rd and long, short throws that don't have a chance to really pick up unless he can make it all happen on his own. He's not able to. So both catches for Samuel on 3rd down result in punts. Not really his fault. Part of it's because of the situation and the play calls that are having to go in as a result of that. So McCaffrey and Samuel in the backfield together. They run the sweep. Look at the block by McCaffrey. And the guy from the backside makes the number 9. The linebacker does the good job. But that's a really good block by McCaffrey to start off with. Should have been a face mask on that one. I grabbed Samuel's face mask on the way down. Let's watch this again. Let's see where 9's coming from. It's a good block by McCaffrey, and it looks like Jake Brendel misses his guy because that's where he's coming from. See 9 running the alley. The center wasn't able to get over there and catch him. Let's watch it one more time. 64's got to get to 9. Step comes down. He gets a little caught up there with the defensive tackle, isn't able to get there. And then 9's the one that blows this play up, and it's the reason that they don't get anything. Actually, he picks up 5, but it should have been a lot more than 5. Come on, Jack, pick it up. Play action. 21 personnel. Again, that's a tough one. There's not a whole lot there, and I think that you see Garoppolo kind of putting it out there to give him a chance, but at the same time, it's an underthrown ball. Guy's in his face. Again, we're talking about all the talk, so much talk this week about Mike McGlinchey because of one play at the end of the game. Let's see, they have him go down, and now you're supposed to be picking that up with your running back because of the play action fake, which is supposed to draw everybody down, so that's why he's sliding down inside. I don't know. The thing with McGlinchey is we know that he's not Trent Williams at right at tackle. The amount of stuff we see about him is wild to me. Nice completion from Garoppolo to Jennings here to move the first down. Started him off in the backfield, motioned him out of the backfield. Right on the money. One of the better outside throws from Garoppolo that we've seen. We're going to see a couple of them in this one. 1st and 10. McCaffrey to the left side. Nice pickup of 8, but you get a hold on Jake Brendel. So let's watch this from behind. That's a tough one. His hands are inside. Guy starts to slide a little bit, and so he gets caught. Oh, that's a tough one. Now you got 1st and 20. Try to throw the screen to the right. That's a bad throw by Garoppolo. Had a couple of them in this game, and I think that was probably there was one earlier that I talked about as being a bad throw. This was one where I said, "You got to be kidding me," in the press box during the game. So you got 2nd and 20, 11 personnel because it's long distance. This is where you go to 15. See the motion? The motion of McCaffrey. The Chargers are in zone. Holds that corner out there because McCaffrey's out there, so it holds that corner in place and allows Jennings to sit in the zone. It's an easy throw for Garoppolo to pick up 8. Works his way across. It's actually his 3rd read. Nice completion. Goes boom, boom. Number 3, ball's out. 3rd and 8, going to go back to Jennings. He's down here at the bottom. Just a little return route and a really nice job after the catch to pick up that first down. Really strong run by 15. Really like that. Watch the pass protection from the right tackle. The only guy that's close to him on the right side is actually being blocked by the right guard. It's one of my favorite things is when I get on Twitter and I have somebody tell me to watch the film. And I just kind of want to say, okay. That's usually the way I respond. But nice run here by Elijah. Missed a strong run over the left guard. Really nice run by Mitchell. Pick up 9. 21 personnel. That gun zone run read scheme that they've been running all night long. Really nice run for 9 by Mitchell. Solid. And they're going to come back here. 2nd and 1, split belly zone. Gain of 4. Move the sticks. Pick up first down. Really nice run. 1st and 10, 36. It's a good job by Mitchell. It's not there originally. 49ers are in 12 personnel here. Run this thing off left guard. Not going to be there originally. He's going to bounce it. Does a good job of getting around Brunskill, who's basically a moving cone out there. And he's able to pick up 7. Another run over left guard for 3. Move the sticks again. 1st and 10. A lot of running on this one. Good stuff. The 49ers are able to run the way that they're running this game. They're not going to get beat very often. Remember, they're still behind, I believe, at this point by 3, but there's plenty of time, and they're just taking their time working this ball down the field. So to the right, picks up nothing. Let's see who gets beat. All that penetration, somebody's going to get beat. We see Ben Burford's out. Brunskill's in his place. Jake Brendel gets beat. Jake Brendel gets beat. Nobody gets to the linebacker. There's nowhere to go. So you get a gain of nothing here for McCaffrey, but the blocking up front just isn't there. Running that outside zone. Just be at the point of attack. Ball's a little high there from Garoppolo. Forces McCaffrey to have to get up off the ground and screws up the timing of this outside screen, so they don't pick up anything here. Just look at all the flow. Everybody's attention is on 23 in this game. 49ers need to continue to work off of him. 3rd and 10. This was the play of the game, really. Another one for Jimmy Garoppolo. You're going to see a blitz. Watch the right guard. He's going to do a nice job. He's going to pick up a couple guys. But watch Garoppolo's release, get this thing out of there. It's a really nice job. You look between what Brunskill does here with being able to get both of the guys. You see right there, he's working the first guy. Now here comes a blitzer. It's going to have to let him off. It's going to have to let him go. I screwed up. There we go. Got back to where we were supposed to be. But he does a really good job. We're going to see from the end view. You're going to see him. He's going to hit the first guy. He's going to be working him. Then you're going to see the blitzer come, and he's going to be able to let go of the outside man. You always want to work inside out. So the first guy, he's blocking the right guy here, but now you got the inside guy. He's got to get off him and gets just enough on him. That combined with Garoppolo getting it out quick, big play, and then really a nice finish there for Brandon Ayuk. Just a really nice finish, and then McCaffrey takes it in for the touchdown, and the 49ers have the lead. The Dark Azrael wants to know if the 49ers should pick up a right tackle in free agency or in the draft. Mike McGlinchey needs to go. Well, it's going to be hard to find. I think it's going to be really hard to find a right tackle better than Mike McGlinchey in free agency. They're not going to have a lot of money to spend. I don't think it's going to be interesting what they do with Christian McCaffrey, how they make that work. It's going to be interesting to see what they do with Nick Bosa as well if they decide to extend Nick Bosa over this offseason. There's a lot of moves that they have to make. I don't know how much cap space they're going to have once it's all said and done. I think it's going to, in terms of free agency, I think it might be difficult for the 49ers to pick up for a free agent for less than what they can sign Mike McGlinchey for, especially one that's going to be able to give you an upgrade there. If anything, I think there might be a situation where it's going to be Spencer Burford take over a right tackle if they decide to not re-sign Mike McGlinchey. I think it would be either Spencer Burford or maybe even Daniel Brunskill gets brought back. I think that might be why you're seeing some of that shuffling going on right now at right guard, is because maybe they're trying to work both those guys in and get a good look at them. But I have a feeling, I've always felt that Burford's going to be more of a tackle down the road. But because they have McGlinchey there, that's why he's playing guard right now. They'll kick him out later. We'll see how that plays out. But again, I think it's going to be really hard for the 49ers to find a right tackle in free agency that's going to be less expensive like Mike McGlinchey, that's going to be better than him. That's just my opinion. Again, this whole thing with Mike McGlinchey, we're watching the film, and there's a lot of guys getting beat just as much as he does. I know that he had the one play again, thanks to one of the content creators for making sure that he puts that out there. I get where he's going from it, but you got a lot of people talking, and I think you got a lot of people talking about something that's not really the case. But thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. And then this is a really nice drive for the 49ers right here. And they have the lead now. They get the ball back. Now it's time to eat some clock up, and they're going to do a really good job of chewing. Nice run up the middle to kick this off by Elijah Mitchell. They've been running this inside zone scheme all night long. Come back to it again. I think you're right, Tony. I think the biggest liability for this offensive line is Jake Brendel. He's played well for a first-year starter. But I think if you're looking around this offensive line, I think we'd want to upgrade center, and neither one of those is an easy one to upgrade in free agency. There's just everybody wants offensive linemen, so it's really hard, and the 49ers don't have a first-round pick to use. But a nice gain there on first down on the inside run for Mitchell. Second down, he's able to pick up only one. 49ers using their 12 personnel. The guy from the outside comes across. Debo's not able to make the block. That's where that one stops. If you were able to catch that. Debo Samuel not able to make the block there. Let me see if I can get back to that one really quick for you. Running out of time. Don't want to miss it. Want to get to the red zone, the last red zone one for sure. But let's watch it from here. Watch Debo Samuel's guy. He's going to be the one that shoots across. He's going to be the guy that makes the tackle. Let's see who it is. I don't know if it's going to be number 8 or it looks like it might be Derwin James. He's not going to get the Derwin James. That's what it is. He's not able to get his head inside of James, and he ends up actually helping James get inside to make the tackle. Not his fault. I mean, that's not saying that he's helping him make the tackle, but he's not able to get there, and so his push in the back actually accelerates James across the formation. He knows it. That's why he's upset with himself. And then they come back here, so now it's 3rd and 9, and this is a really nice ball to the right side from Garoppolo to Brandon Ayuk. Motion. Sorry, that's coming up next after the Deebo Samuel stuff. They've been doing this all game, right? They're doing that little motion, bring the guy in, motion him around, inside run with the bubble screen to the opposite side. This is one where it was a give, and I think he should have thrown it. I think, if I remember correctly, having my memory of watching the game live, it's correct. There were a couple of folks on the let's see if it would have worked if it stayed down here. If he'd gone to the screen to boom. Yeah, if they're running that as a bubble, as an RPO like they've been doing earlier, that ball should have been a pull and a throw to 25. Thank you, David. I appreciate your super chat. Really appreciate the $5. And then Black 59 Razor, Black 59 Razor, Black 59 Razor. That's an easy way to support the channel. Jack works harder than the other slugs on here. I don't know about that. Everybody works really hard. So don't want to put anybody down. I might not like some of the things they say, but I'm not going to say they don't work hard. But I appreciate it. Thank you very much. And we're going to get back to it. And here we go. This is the throw from Garoppolo to Ayuk along the right sidelines. This one reminds me a lot of the Trey Lance throw to Brandon Ayuk in Arizona. Just not much separation. You just got to put the ball in a space where the defender can't get to it. Let Ayuk body him out, and just a really nice catch by 11 on the sideline. Really nice. Good placement by Garoppolo. Fantastic catch by Deebo Samuel over there. Couple big plays on those routes outside the numbers. He hit Jennings on the one, and he comes back to the one for Ayuk. The most impressive thing with this drive is the Flyers' ability to just grind clock. That's the one right there. That's the one that should have been the throw to the outside. You could see Kyle Juszczyk didn't like the fact that ball ran where it did. You could see him bouncing around. Watch back to it. Let's see if we can get to it. All right. Got about 5 more minutes, and we're gonna have to go. So see Juszczyk down here. You got Mitchell in the backfield. You're gonna bring Deebo around. This is an RPO, and that ball should have gone to 19. And you can see Kyle Juszczyk doesn't like the fact that Jimmy Garoppolo didn't throw it. Jimmy Garoppolo really struggling on these RPOs in this game. Missed the one in the red zone. Talked about that one a couple minutes ago. Here they come back again. Boom. Should have gone out to Deebo Samuel. You got a big gain. There's the number advantage is over there. Doesn't throw it out there. It's an easy pitch and catch. It should be. Jimmy Garoppolo played really well, but that's a really easy play that could have been a big one for the 49ers in this game. 2nd and 13. He's gonna move around, and I think that was an incompletion. Yeah, you get an ineligible man down the field called as well on 64 on this one. So an incompletion here by Garoppolo, stops the clock. Just a little behind him, and Kittle isn't able to keep his feet in bounds. Wouldn't have counted anyways. 3rd and 13, and Deebo Samuel's going to get his 2nd catch of the day. 3rd and 13, and Garoppolo's going to go out here to the left side. I'm going to check down to Deebo. Nothing's really open anywhere else. And Samuel with his 2nd catch. Got 2 catches, 24 yards. One was a 16-yarder on 3rd and 20. Then you get an 8-yarder on 3rd and 13. And that's it. Now, I'm going to fast forward really quick because I do want to – I think the next series is they get the ball down in the red zone. Big Flav comes in. He said to me, good football. Okay. Thank you, Flav. Appreciate the super chat. really do. I know you're a big Jimmy supporter. So let's go through this one. First and goal from the 8. They're going to open up here with a zone run to Elijah Mitchell. That's a tough one. He's one-on-one with the safety. Not able to beat him. You would hope to see him be able to make a move there and get past him. Really well blocked. He just doesn't get there. He's not able to beat the safety one-on-one. So now you got 2nd and 2. Mitchell's going to get the ball here on an inside run. Let's watch Spencer Burford. He's not able to get across to the linebacker. It's a tough one. And then 3rd and 1. And this is the play that everybody's been talking about, because this is the one that got put up. Game on the line. Watch Mike McGlinchey. He whiffs. It's not like we haven't seen McGlinchey whiff on a run play before. I did it quite a bit last year up in out in Arizona. One of them is you're going to see the slip by 25. So the guy makes the tackle. And I think even without, I think if McGlinchey makes this block down, makes this down block on the correct guy, that you've got Khalil Mack screaming right behind him. And the only reason Mack doesn't make the play on this is because he gets caught behind McGlinchey's whiff. But I think if that play runs exactly how it's supposed to go, I think Khalil Mack might even get there to 25 because of the slip. You get a little bit of a slip there. Just a tough run for McGlinchey, for both those guys. Both of them, it's not a good rep from any of them. You get a slip by Mitchell, you get McGlinchey getting beat. But there you go. There is the 49ers all 22 film review. And yes, Amtrak is coming through. We are in the Central Valley. It's 5:30. A bunch of people heading home. There you go. Hope you guys enjoyed it. As I said, you go through this game. 49ers, they moved the ball throughout, up and down the field. They had only a couple of 3-and-outs in this game. The rest of the game, they're moving it around, up and down. Should have been able to put some more points on the board. You had Jimmy Garoppolo with a couple of bad reads on RPOs, throwing the ball in one case instead of giving it like he should have. Another time where he gives it instead of throwing. So that was 2 of them there. Just an overall, I think you look at this game, for me, my biggest takeaway from the 49ers in this game was that they didn't play a perfect game. They made mistakes that we've seen them make earlier on in the season. But the difference is they were able to come out and they were able to execute. They were able to stay within themselves and make some positive plays and come out with a win. You're not always going to play your best. And this is the first time in 2022 where the 49ers have won a close game. The other close games and all their victories have been blowouts in the fourth quarter, haven't been close. They haven't had to come back and take the lead in the fourth quarter in those games. This time they did. So got to give them a lot of credit for that. So I'm going to say thanks to everybody who took the time to join in. There was a lot of positive comments. I appreciate those. Your super chats were fantastic as well. I really appreciate all of that. Appreciate everybody for making the time, hour and 20 minutes to watch me talk about the 49ers offense and their performance against the Chargers. Keep it locked right in here. The channel will be coming up in about 5 more minutes with Jesse Naylor for the Hammer and Nail show for this week. But I want to say thanks to everybody for tuning in. Have a great rest of your day. Keep it locked in here for 49ers Talk all the time. Take care, everybody.